Good evening. Welcome to the studio tonight, and I'm just going to do something different because I want to do something different. So we're going to do some things with these silver coloured rings, just because I want to do something different. Nope. Ah, there it is. So, let's count out some rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Okay, we'll start with 50 on those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 44, 45, 46, 47, 49, 51. Okay. And I'll put those to one side. I will probably need them. But I'll start with 50 of these. And those have to close, those have to open. Clavybug, good evening. Ow! Oh, that hurts. Oh, well, it would hurt. How on earth did you manage? You're putting too much force on your pliers if you're going to manage to do that. That would hurt a considerable amount. Ramming them up your fingernail, yes. I didn't really feel like carving today, so I'm doing a little bit of chain work. So I'm going to make something out of these silver rings. Sorry, these silver tone rings. I have to be careful. They're not sterling silver. They are silver tone, silver coloured. And I'm going to try. Well, I'm going to make a 4-in-1 half Persian with this slightly smaller sized rings than normal. You were moving them on your desk. They were underneath a piece of paper. Okay, yeah, I shall adjust the camera. I am working slightly off it, aren't I? So let's do... That's better. I'd set it up and then I've moved position slightly, so I shall need to spend some time closing this. So how are you doing anyway? Moving them on your desk, yeah. You see, when I talk about chisels and things, I'm always talking about putting them away back in their case where they belong so that they're safe and I don't cut my hands or anything on them, as well as keeping them sharp. And what I've just gone and done is put the other camera right in front of the other camera, haven't I? Ah dear. So yeah, one of these days I'll tidy my desk up as well. Probably around the time I move studio, I suspect. Yeah. I just realised before you said so. Fluffy Twiglet, good evening, welcome this evening, and I trust you are also well. I'm going to try doing something that I don't normally do, and well, I was about to say I don't normally do. I've only done it once before, and that's using a single colour for this. But I'm going to try a slightly different experiment later. I managed to set everything up tonight, got the camera in position, remembered I was going to change it, refocus it on the pliers, and then I would go and move my chair slightly so I wasn't in the field of view. Oh dear. It's a Sunday night. I'm back to work tomorrow, and tomorrow may be an important day. Well, tomorrow is an important day, but it may be a more important day. I may get to know whether I've got another job tomorrow. On the other hand, I might not. It may be Tuesday. I'm hoping it's not Wednesday. You're fighting off a headache but doing work. Yeah, well, I used to get a lot of migraine. I don't now because I do take some medication for it. I do get them from time to time, and kind of know what you mean. Fighting it off, trying not to let it affect you. I wasn't suggesting you got a migraine, by the way, but just to know what you mean by that. That ring is distorted. That one can go in the bin. Just pull another one off. And yeah, I usually find that if I'm like that and I sort of feel like I might get a headache, if I do something interesting, take my mind basically off the thought, it tends to go away. Although these days I do have a I won't say it's a habit, but if I think I'm getting a headache, I take medication straight away, then I don't get it. Because quite often, if I do get a headache and I don't catch it, it can turn into a migraine, and they're not very pleasant at all. If they turn out to be the painful kind, that is. Mind you, a migraine that turns out not to be the painful kind still isn't very pleasant. In case you, most people don't know, but migraines, you can have a migraine without having a headache. They can do all sorts of things. They can make you feel sick just on its own. They can give you visual disturbances. and do all sorts of other weird things as well. I have no idea. Oh, fasten them up anyway. So, how's the business going, Clarybug? I seem to recall it's a little while ago now, but you were going to go to an exhibition with your friend. Not an exhibition, yeah, to a show with your friend. How did that go? You suffer with migraine? Yeah. Oh, she backed out? Ah, that's a pity. Yeah. Starting small businesses is hard. Anything wrong? What I might do with these actually is put some sort of non-slip coating on there, like I was about to say self-amalgamating rubber, but actually that's not very pleasant to hold and the spring gets in the way. I don't know, I'll have to coat them. You can get a substance for coating jaws on pliers, which puts like a plastic dip, which is supposed to help both non-slip and to stop scratching. Neither of which I really have a problem with, but it might actually help with the grips. It slips very slightly because you tend not to want to open them fully. And how's your work progressing for the exhibition, Fluffy Twiglet? Very 2 weeks to go. Are you going to be ready in time? Are you going to be working right up to the wire to try and do it? That's a good thing when you do art as a hobby. You don't have any deadlines. Well, if you've got room for it, Clarybug, take it with you. If you're thinking about whether you should or not, if you take it with you, you don't have to use it. If you don't take it with you, you'll want to have done so. You can guarantee that. Mind you, that's assuming it doesn't take up the whole car to take it, you know. Interesting though, you want to take your jewellery stuff, not your paper cutting stuff. Have you gone off the paper cutting, or...? Because that I'd have thought would have been more portable. So much stuff that, yeah. I can see that being the case. There's so many pretty things that you look at and go, I want one of those, I want some of that, and then you never know when you might need it, so you always want to take it with you. And yeah, no room to cut. Okay, no room to cut. All right, I'll take your word for that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I only see what you're doing on camera, of course, which looks like A4 sheet, and that's about. Why didn't I get a jewellery mat? I bought myself some bead mats. Finally did. I don't know why I didn't get one out to put these on. Oh well, never mind. I'm not going to lift them all up to put it on now. I was saying it seems to take up about, to my mind, it seems to take up about the same amount of space. Now that I've got sort of quite a few rings, they do take up a bit of space to carry around. It's not the sort of thing I just suppose if I knew I was making just one or two bracelets, so I could just, or necklaces, I could just take a few rings. But I'm about to say it's not really the sort of thing I could sit on a train doing or something. But I probably could. Wow. Okay. I suppose if you're talking about printing the things out, I kind of assumed that you'd have, you pre-prepare those sorts of things. But yeah, if you're talking about your laptop and things as well, then it kind of makes sense. Well, I mean, if you're talking about going all the way to completing it, framing it up and the mats and everything else, then yeah, I suppose that does take up a lot more space. I mean, carrying 12-inch frames around is quite bulky. I know I spent a couple of days away just recently, and I was thinking, do I want to take the drawing computer, and do I want to take any rings with me, and rings and pliers? And I thought, I can't be bothered. I'll probably just read a book. So I'll end up reading a book, and then I'll have taken spent time packing things up, unpacking things, and never actually used them. So. Might do it next time when we go away for longer, but sit outside in the sunshine with a load of rings in a nice gentle breeze blowing, and sit on a bench and make some nice sparkly bracelets in the sunlight. Most ladies are lays on the sunbed and tries to go brown. And I'll sit in the shade, completely covered by an umbrella, and go totally brown. And I have a habit of being on holiday, of not wanting to actually do anything when I'm on holiday. It's just kind of like sit back. Reading is about, I can't not do something, but reading is about all I ever feel like wanting to do. I can't sit and just watch people or close my eyes or whatever. I always have to be doing something. Right, I will soon be able to start and put some of these together. It always feels like prepping the rings takes the longest amount of... It doesn't, but it always feels like it takes the longest amount of time. I don't think I've got enough here, but we shall see. I only want to get to 7.5 inch, so... Right, now then, before I go any further, I need that little... Okay, pussycats, what have you done with it? They're not going to tell me either. I had a length of wire, a wire tie actually. Yeah. Which is very useful for the next bit. What I'm going to have to do one of these days, if we haven't got any already, is get some garden twine, the green wire stuff. It's very useful for working with rings, for starting. Oh, there's one there. You know, black version, but because with the garden stuff you can buy sort of 20 yards, so you can just keep snipping off bits. Now then, I want on this 1, 2, 3 of them, and just fold that back a bit and give it a little bit of a twist. And then, actually I'm probably better with these. Coyote Dancer, hello, welcome. I haven't seen you around for a while, how are you doing? 1, 2, 3. And one of those. How are you enjoying your bracelet? You know that you've had it for a little while, and come on, sort yourself out, thank you. Oh well, I hope you recover from that really soon. I gather that's very painful. Now then, come along here, and don't try too hard. You know, give yourself a chance to recover before you start doing too much in the way of art. You know, you don't want to cause it to come back. It sounds like painful surgery as well, to be honest. Have I just done that wrong or done that right? Oh dear. Losing track of what I'm doing here. Half Persian's really hard to start. I'm doing it an easy way to start, but it's still quite Challenging at times. Sorry you can't see much what I'm doing here. Get my fingers in the way. It's a little bit fiddly. It'll get a little bit easier in a moment or two. Oh, that's not bad. Start being ambidextrous. I'm assuming you're right-handed. Start being ambidextrous, being able to draw left-handed. Still missing the pyro. Yeah. I go in phases anyway with it's, you know, with all of the crafts. Just, you know, one day I'll just go, you know what, I want to do something different today, and I'll grab the pyro machine or what have you. Go through there. Come on, rings, and there. That's it. You'll get back into it at some point. Just take your time, obviously, and practice gently, shall we say. And I'm sure you'll be back doing it before you know. Got these rings. I normally do this with 1/4" rings. These are 3/8, and doesn't sound like much of a difference, but it is. Yeah, it's, in some ways it's kind of weird. I get bored doing the same thing, but there again, I can do the same thing for weeks at a time. You know, I create a picture, for example. I can spend hours and hours and hours getting it right, like with the cats, or doing fur. You know, where you're doing individual fur strokes. I can spend hours and hours and hours doing that. I've got the patience to do that, and then, you know, I'll just go, you know what, I've had enough. It's kind of like that tonight with the owl, rather than doing the carving. I just didn't really feel like carving tonight. So one thing I sort of learnt a long time ago, with something like that, if I don't really feel like doing it, it's not worth trying too hard, shall we say. Sometimes I'll try it, but try too hard sometimes, and all that happens is you end up making a mess, and then wish you hadn't bothered. And with something like carving, you can't really fix a large mistake. Have I done that right? No, I don't think so. Let's take that ring out and try that again. Okay, I've completely lost what I'm doing there. Nope, that's that way around. There we go. Thank you very much. I'm glad you are enjoying it. That's absolutely fantastic. I love working with small rings, but sometimes they are really fiddly. And they try your patience when they get like that. I think that's right. No, something's wrong there. I've done something weird. Okay. So we'll take that ring back off and try that again. No, I'm still not. You know what? I've kind of lost what I'm doing with this. Oh dear. Tell you what, let me take that off of there. We'll get rid of that from there. And then sort that out. Okay, like that. Nothing wants to go where it wants to go. Through there and through there. Thank you. That looks right. Let's see if it is. Put that ring back on. So Claire, have you been trying any... Hello Eddie, how are you doing? And how are you doing then, Junior? I was about to ask Claire, have you been trying any new patterns, and are you getting on with them? Oh, come on. Thank you. I've been so busy at work for various reasons, Eddie. I haven't been watching streams in an afternoon, so but I kind of got the impression you haven't been on for a while. I don't recall seeing your stream start pop up. Whilst I haven't been watching, I still get the still got the notifications. Come on. As I said earlier, I love little rings, but they are really fiddly sometimes. It must be me tonight. I am just getting quite a little bit frustrated with these. That's probably why I didn't want to do the carving. I probably felt that I was going to get that way, and these are a little bit driving things that way. Mind you, what I was about to say, I was just about to sort of think it's been school holidays as well, hasn't it? So just recently, but so something has changed means you can't do it in an afternoon anymore. Or? Why can I not get this rhythm right? There. Okay. That sounds like a big change. Tried out any new games recently then, AD? I mean, you got American Truck Simulators out now, as I'm sure you're aware. And I've actually been playing quite a lot of Fortress Craft Evolved just recently, which I'm finding quite a fascinating game to play. Easily sucks up quite a lot of time, does that game. That's wrong. That's right. Mini Metro. I've not heard of Mini Metro. What's that one? It sounds either like a driving game or a railway sort of game. You know? New York Metro or something. I haven't bought ATS yet. I'll probably wait until I actually set up the steering wheel again, because it's not like a boxed game where you're gonna you might have to spend then another several months trying to find it. At least with it being on Steam, you just sort of click the download button. So I'm not actually going to bother buying it until I'm actually going to play the thing. I've seen a few streams of it though. It looks quite a well. To be honest, it looks like more Euro Truck Simulator, but in America. So but that's not a bad thing. Oh, okay. So it's Yeah, it's a resource management. Yeah, simulation type resource management game. Okay. I'm not great at that sort of thing. I kind of get frustrated with them. You get, kind of like Theme Hospital or what's the other one? The Roller Coaster Tycoon and things like that. Yeah, I'm not business simulation. That's the word I was looking for. I don't tend to be the sort of game I like to. Well, I can like looking at them. I can enjoy watching people play them, but I don't really have that much interest to play the thing myself. So if you stream it anytime, I shall try and look in and see what it's about. Puzzle strategy. Okay. Well, I say I'll have to take a look and see. Puzzle games I enjoy. I mean, there's quite a few like turn-based strategy. What's that? Gods of War and things like that. Never particularly interested me. Which is kind of daft because a lot of other games, I mean, to some extent, even things like ATS, ETS, there's there is a strategy to playing them, but or even Farming Simulator, but not quite the same. But tower defense games and things like that as well. Although having said which, that's how Fortress Craft Evolve is described as a tower defense. So. Maybe I am doing them a disservice. A little addictive, yeah. Fortress Craft's a bit like that. It's always I just want just a little bit more. I just want to, and yeah. It's I think that's one of the kind of all the simulation games that I play, like ETS, the train simulator and farming sim. They're all a bit like that as well, sort of slightly addictive. You just want to finish the harvesting or just finish the sowing, and then you find you sort of just want to do the other field, and then. Several hours have gone past by the time you've realised. I made myself a new bracelet. Actually, I'm wearing two. At which point you should now be able to see which is which. But yeah, you're right. Half Persian is the sterling one, and that's a full Persian, which is aluminium. I've had that a while now. A couple of months up. Well, you can tell by the colour. Even though this was cleaned recently. Okay. Full and half, yeah. Yeah, I haven't tried another dragon scale yet, but dragon back. Okay, I think because that's a different design. Yeah. Well, Sterling silver's nice, but and it's quite a heavy, obviously quite a heavy bracelet, but they're quite pricey to make. Because it's sterling silver, of course, and it does lose its shine after a while, and you've got to keep dipping it in jewellery cleaner, and to keep the shine on there. And of course the aluminium then sort of, that now looks like silver, and that kind of looks like, I don't know what that quite like looks of. All the best jewellers are fellas, Fluffy Twiggler. All the best jewellers. Ah, dear. No. I was going to make another comment, but we'll leave that comment alone. Now, which way around was I doing this? Not that way. Yeah, I'm doing it that way. The slight difference is, well, I'm going to say the slight difference is we're talking about making it as opposed to wearing it, as you know, how pretty it is. But so I actually made the silver one because I thought it will be silver, the aluminium one because I thought it will keep it sparkle more. And because I'm using the slightly smaller rings, it's about the same sort of size, and kind of the sterling silver disappointed me a little bit because it actually lost the shine. I think Clarybug's still around in chat as well. Are you you're staying quiet tonight, Clary? Come on, rings. You know I'm going to get you to go where I want in the end, so you might as well do it now rather than later. Maybe we ought to have another go at that ink blot picture, Fluffy Twiglet. If you got some pictures, Fluffy, you're quite welcome to post it up. If you wish to do so, that is. Although that, if that's the theme of Broken Pen, it kind of sounds a bit like the thing that put me off art a long time ago when I was in infant school, when I had to do a cutaway of a tin of fruit. No, it was just a thought. I mean, I remember that stream. We must have spent about an hour looking for animals, wasn't it? It was, well, just anything on that. It was. You've got quite a few more people on the stream now. I don't really have much patience tonight, which is surprising me quite a lot. And breathe. I'm not quite sort of going to throw things across the room. I do sometimes. I'm feeling a little bit like I just want to throw something. Ah, dear. I don't know what it is today. I'm really glad I'm not using the chisels. I really wouldn't want to throw one of those. Although I am guessing some people probably do come to the stream to see just that happen. I usually find this extremely relaxing to do. Yeah, a bit low. Oh yeah, I remember that. I think I asked you how you were going to avoid it scratching the phone. I think the idea was to line it with something, wasn't it? Like a soft pocket. Well, I had my phone go faulty last week. The battery started to swell and started to pop the thing apart. I have an iPhone, so took it back to the shop, and they charged me for a new battery, but gave me a new phone. So I have a brand new phone, so might keep it in the case, but it always struck me as being funny. These people who buy things like the latest super slim phone because they want a really slim phone, and then put in a great big thick case, and it's kind of like, that doesn't make sense. Black and orange in a striped pattern. Are you going for the tiger stripes? Nicking my idea. Yeah, this that inked up a lot. That Coyote Dancer. That's an old ink blot thing. Old. It's not what she's doing at the moment. But we spent, it must have been almost a whole stream at one point, wasn't it, Fluffy Twiglet? Sort of looking like, you can see a mouse in the middle of that ink blot there. And then just slightly up to the left is a dog's head. And I can actually see a caterpillar on there now, Fluffy Twiglet, just at the left hand side. We must have spent, I don't know how many animals we picked out or shapes we picked out in the end, but good evening, Creams. Welcome to the studio this evening. We spent absolutely, I can't remember, we came out with some really odd things. It was kind of like a bear or something, which is down below the mouse on the bottom edge of the page. I can see a little heart now actually at the right hand side, Fluffy Twiglet. And we just kept doing that, and it was quite amazing trying to see what each other was seeing, because sometimes you can look at it and you can't understand. And I think there was one, was it a butterfly or something? I could not see until you actually drew it out for me. So it proved quite an interesting evening, did that one. That kind of makes me think like of a rose. Blue roses are unusual, but it kind of makes me think of a rose. I'm sure that's not what it's meant to be, but I do like the colour though. Yeah, I think that person in the middle sort of it sort of has a mouse-like look to me. Does the person? Unless we're seeing different things. But I hadn't actually sort of, it's interesting that you sort of chasing from a sort of a mass of fantasy creatures. I can see what you mean by that. And it's one I hadn't really thought about. I thought, I hadn't sort of thought that when I saw it before, but now that you've mentioned it, Coyote, it does sort of look like that. It really sort of shows different people's imaginations when they can pick things out, stuff like that. See, you looked at it from a whole picture perspective. I was looking at it from sort of detail perspective, which is kind of, I guess I focus on detail. I do like detail in things, so it's interesting how we have a different perspective like that. Is that pink one the thing you mentioned, broken pen then? Yeah, they do both look that way, don't they, Coyote? If you were talking about that pink one as being like a broken pen, I can imagine that's like when you chew a biro, that's kind of how they look to me afterwards. Kieran Harf, I'm from the UK. Now then, there. Nope, that's wrong. Ah, come on back out. Thank you. There, there, and there. Got you. Perhaps I ought to just mention at this point that I tend to have zero tolerance for people messing about, and I do tend to ban them really quickly sometimes. Thank you. Oops, said Daisy. I'm not doing too bad personally, Creams, thank you very much, and I'm sure everybody else will answer for themselves, but hope you're feeling okay anyway. Saw you in Steve's stream earlier on today when I was watching. Ah, I hadn't read that message about the bag, but then I earlier on, and then like most of my art, then Fluffy Twiglet, like most of my art. Yeah. I don't know. I have my website, as it says at the side there, zaragonart.com, and the thing I found longest was all the things that I thought would take 10 seconds. So all the stuff that I thought was going to take a long time to do, I sort of did in about 3 seconds. I'm exaggerating slightly, but about 3 seconds flat. And all the stuff that I thought, hey, this is going to be easy, like writing an article page or something, has taken the absolutely longest time to do, to the point where I still haven't done a lot of it. Everything else has been sort of fairly quick, and it's alright, I give up. I'll turn that off and try again. Am I working from the wrong end? No, I am working from that end. I'm kind of one of those people that in some ways annoys Steve, because I quite often I do watch his stream quite a bit, but I watch it. I don't talk. Generally speaking, I'm doing something else. I might be doing this, or writing a website or whatever, and I have his stream on, and I sort of do enjoy watching him and listening to him, but I very rarely talk in stream. Just the sort of person I won't say he hates, but I know he likes to interact, but I'm usually busy doing something else. I don't want to stop and chat sometimes. Oh, I took the easy way out on that Coyote Dancer, just using a content management system to do most of the work. I mean, I actually found a theme I was okay with, so I can tweak it. I do know CSS and HTML, but to be honest, when you start getting, if you start trying to do stuff too clever, well, apart from the fact that you really want to do it all in CSS, it just gets too hard to maintain. You want to do something slightly differently, and you change the CSS and the whole thing breaks, and you have to spend ages messing around trying to make it, or you end up writing CSS such that every page is unique. I'm broadcasting sound, Coyote Dancer. Yeah, I'm using Joomla rather than WordPress in my case, but I have a sort of a preference for really sort of clean, simple sites. Lots of white space and actual white space and things like that. It makes a difference having sound, yes. Well, it makes a difference when I'm actually talking, which makes a little bit of a change. Okay, let's see how long this chain is. That's close. So I go from there. So that's 6.5 inches. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4. About another 4 rings. Well, it wasn't the fact that my mouth was moving giving it away. On this camera at least. I know you can't see me on that one. Ah dear. Some of the earlier streams this week, it would not have been unusual though. Especially if there isn't anybody interacting in chat. You can only say so much about carving. And then you start having to just sort of step off onto totally esoteric subjects. But with waiting on things like the say the job interview that I did recently and stuff like that, I kind of haven't really felt much like talking a great deal. What's up, Junior? He's talking to Lady Zara. Well, if you'd like me to stop it at this point, Coyote Dancer, just let me know before I add the extra 8 rings onto it. Of course, I can always take them off again. That's not really a problem, but let me. Of course, nice and shiny, beautiful silver-toned aluminium. Yeah, it's okay. I'm only teasing you a little bit. And of course, when you put it next to real sterling silver, it looks more shiny. In fact, it looks rather like a curb chain actually, without the diamond cut. But it's actually it has actually worked better in these slightly smaller rings. You've got more of an even spacing than has come with the actual sterling silver rings. These are a little bit although they're a 1/4 inch ring, they are a little bit sort of unevenly spaced. It's just the way the rings are. I gather you can hear him in the background. He's just squeaking, and the trouble is you never know why. In fact, what he's actually doing, and he's done it a few times now, is he's staring down the stairs. He's sat on the computer at the end of the desk, and he's staring downstairs, and you can hear him meowing, squeaking slightly. Don't know why. Spooky. Yeah. I don't know what he's seeing down there, but not sure whether I should be worried. Yeah, I'm doing that's okay, but I'm doing something. Maybe I'm going from the wrong end. Okay, Fluffy Twiglet, have a great night. Hope you sleep well, and look forward to seeing you on another stream. Yours or mine. I am being really slow at doing this tonight. I'm out of practice, that's what it is. Normally this should take me about an hour. But mind you, it would take me about an hour with 1/4 inch rings, I suppose. So I am doing this with 3/4. Sorry, 3/8. Let's check the length. I think it'll be about yeah, that'll do. Now then, have I got a that's not what I'm looking for. Where's my clasps? There's one here somewhere, and that's a stainless steel one. Don't want stainless. Where's my silver? Pussycats, have you been knocking things around again? They have, they've been knocking things around again. No, that's little silver tags. There we go. I've got some stainless steel tags, stainless steel ones, but they actually don't look as nice. They look really grey, especially compared to the other, to the stainless steel ones. And yet, sorry, these are sterling silver. They're sterling silver. These are stainless steel, which always look really shiny until you see the two side by side. And when you look at them next to both of them next to actually aluminium, neither of them look that shiny. They're definitely bean cats. Yeah, they are definitely bean cats. Junior, you can usually understand though. He's sort of he's an expressive cat in some ways, in that he will sort of tell you what it is he's after. Usually, I'll show you. He's quite good at that. You know, he'll actually sit by the door and meow, which is, you know, I want to go out, or you know, or he'll sit by the food bowl and do the same thing. So you know what he's after. Whereas Felix sort of just meows. Yeah, okay. I was just trying to decide then how to fasten the clasp on this side. One of these days, what I'm actually going to do is try one with a magnetic clasp. Not sure I trust magnetic clasps though. You always sort of I'm going to actually have to sort of make myself one and put a magnetic clasp on just to see, but I always sort of feel like I'd, you know, just break them up, you know, catch them on something very gently, and I'll break the magnetic clasp apart without realising it, and then lose the bracelet. Oh, but for things like the Kumihimo, though, braiding, where you've got larger magnets, I don't think that's particularly a problem, but for something like this, which is quite small, where the clasps are quite small as well, the magnetic clasps, it always feels yeah, I think yeah, I think what I'd be inclined to want to do with, if I put a magnetic clasp on something, is to put a safety chain on it, across it, so you know you've got the clasp to break to put it, you know, so you can put it on and then fasten it together, but you've still got, you know, an inch safety chain or something like that, little tiny safety chain. What I'm going to do is just split that slightly and put it through both of those. So the people who have asked you to change AD, they're sort of, are they sort of finding it does come apart, or they're just afraid to lose them? I don't want that way, do I? I want it through the other way. Okay, that works. Yeah. The ones for the Kumahimo braid, they're quite a strong magnet, are those. I don't think I'd have a problem with that, but I do have a magnetic one around here somewhere. It'll be stuck to something. The jewellery ones are really tiny. I got one as an experiment just to have a look at and just see, and it's in its bag, but it's probably stuck to a pair of pliers and it'll have gone walkies. They're a real little tiny sort of thing. Come on, where are you? I really must put some of these jewellery stuff away. No, they're Swarovski crystals. They're titanium rings. Actually, I must finish a titanium. I must do that titanium bracelet as well. Got some really nice blue. I've got some blue, and these are blue. These aren't purple. These are blue. So they are the colour they look, even though that looks like purple. But titanium. I've got some green ones as well. Sorry, purple. No, I actually have some purple. That's it, blue and purple, because I made. They're a nice dusty looking colour. And amazingly, those purple look like purple. I wish I could do that with the aluminium rings. I must finish that. Or complete one, because they're really hard to work with. Actually, they're really strong. I was even doing this short length was actually quite a lot of strength needed, but that's a 3-in-1. It's a lovely sort of. I kind of like the dusty colour of them and the sort of slightly muted tones. They're matte rather than shiny. Yeah. I kind of just wanted to try one, to be honest, as a wraparound though, not as a single bracelet, but as a wraparound. So 3 or 4 wraps, and then that's not as bad then, because if it does come, you've got all the other wraps will basically tend to hold it together. One of the things I want to do is to take some memory wire and try some memory wire stuff. I still cannot find this. Finding everything but. All the stuff I want to experiment. Oh, that's where that went. Stretchy bracelet. I've been looking for that. All the stuff I want to experiment with, I kind of just leave on the desk in front of me here, as a incentive to. There's the purple ones. As an incentive to actually sort of do something. In fact, I might do some of that now. And the things are piling up a little bit. Okay, so Yeah. Nope, they're Swarovski crystals. Yellow. Nice yellow neoprene rings. Okay. Now, where did I put the... Oh, there's the photo. Okay, well, we'll work on that in a minute, I think. I was going to probably do a silver Byzantine, but I might do that maybe tomorrow. Kind of want to... Carvings, not into carving just today. I suspect tomorrow neither. I'm kind of waiting on, as I mentioned, the job thing. I'm kind of waiting on that, and it's not stressing me out, but it's making me a little bit too impatient to do carving. It's a nice. Well, it does not show. That's a nice toggle clasp. In just twisted, still sterling silver, but just twisted, so it sparkles a little bit. A nice little tiny one to go with some small jewellery. I do like the tiny stuff. Yeah, I am not keen on sterling. Sorry, on stainless steel. Although I may get some stainless steel rings just to use the toggles up on. Have you tried any sterling? Sorry, I keep saying sterling. Any stainless steel AD? Okay. No, I cannot find that clasp, but I'm not going to spend the next half hour looking for it. It will be around somewhere. And it will be stuck to some... At one point, every time I picked up a pair of pliers, it was stuck to them. Because it's a magnet, of course. And now I can't find them. It will bug me. I will look for it after the stream, but it's a little tiny clasp, and I'm going to have to get some safety chain, I think, to do it. Yeah, Tibetan. But there we go. I find it interesting, and it's just me. But this is half Persian, 4-in-1, and it actually has a twist to it. They never actually are dead straight. If I just turn it towards the camera. And if you can see, it's got a very slight spiral on it. Don't know why, but it does. So it sort of doesn't hang perfectly straight. Obviously it's something to do with the way all the rings are interchanged, but I find it just one of those fascinating things. Right, let me finish off, or let me do some more on this 3-in-1. So let me put the silver rings away before I forget about it, and for the last half hour of the stream we'll do some titanium work. Yeah, Moobot popped in rather nicely there. Right, I'm sure I've got a 6-in-1 version of that somewhere. 6-in-1. 4-in-1. Or maybe I didn't. I've got little bits of chain all over the desk here. I can't even remember what that was supposed to be, but it's too... oh yeah... round mail? No, not round mail. It's one of the round variants anyway, is that, but its rings were too big. Yeah. A little bit. 4-in-1 I think. Bit tight. Yeah, round mail. Just have little experimental pieces all over the desk. Now that's what that other one was meant to be. A round version of Byzantine. Yeah, helm. All sorts of little bits of weaves around the desk. Some that work and some that don't. You see what the little tiny rings again. I love these little rings. And just unfortunately though, to make a bracelet that's something like that, it will look really lovely, I think. But it will probably take about 6 hours to do. Major Bulls, thank you very much for following. Turkish Round, thank you. That was the word I was looking for. Yeah. Lovely little things. The miniatures always have fascinated me a little bit. It's why I like little tiny models and things like that. Just because they're small, and you know, lots of detail in small sizes. Come back here, you. We'll just do a few. Okay, now then, which one am I doing? It's such a while since I've done a 3-in-1. Well, now I have to remember how to do a 3-in-1. So I am probably doing that with... I'm just trying to work out which ring is... The loose ring is the one that's a full ring, isn't it? So... That's the back, that's the top. Tell you what, that's the purple. I must have been doing it like that, I think. So that's the blue, the purple ring is the... Purple ring will be the feed ring and the blue... okay. So we'll close a few of the blue ones. I'll do a few at a time. Switch players. Go for the big boys, dies. These are really, really strong rings. If I was starting from scratch, I wouldn't have a problem with the half Persian. It's working out, at least looking at it now and working out which ones, you know, which are the closed rings and which are the open rings. These are also being sewn at a slightly odd angle as well. So it's not a vertical cut, it's a diagonal cut. Let's see if I've got it right before I do too many. It's amazing how, I mean, these are, you can see they are thin rings, especially compared with the ones I've just been working with, and yet these are probably at least twice as hard to twist. At least twice as hard. There's a considerable amount of difference between them. No, that one doesn't want to be on that side, it wants to be on this side. There is a ring missing. Here you are seeing me trying to work out how on earth to go about doing this. It kind of seems like it's backwards, so I wonder if I was actually doing it from that end. Alright, study time again. So I could have been, what I've possibly done here is, because I was making a short test length, what I've done is just go, well, it's a short test length, so I've finished it off, which means leaving one of the end rings off, and I think that's what I've done. and I'm working from this end here. So let's put a blue ring on this end. What size rings are they? 0.81 millimeter diameter, 0.81 millimeter wire, 4.2 millimeter internal diameter, which I think off the top of my head is yeah, no, I've just knocked the camera. That particular pack's only labelled in one 20 gauge. Yeah, 20 gauge. And there'll be what? About 732, somewhere around. Is that about 1/8 of an inch? I don't actually know what they are. Hmm. 2/10, 1/5. Yeah, I don't know. I know they're just over 4 millimeters internal diameter. I'll let you do the conversion. 20 gauge wire. So a blue one would just be loose on it like that, if I remember rightly. Now then, that means I will put it through that one there and that one there, and pick up a blue one and put that on there, I think. Now grab everything really tight. And check whether I've done it correct. It looks like I have. Yeah. 5:30 seconds. Okay, there you go. Bubbles the Monkey. Sorry, I was studying what I'm doing so much I wasn't looking up. Bubbles the Monkey. Hello. Welcome. I'm doing quite well. Thank you very much. And Nakmui as well. Good evening, everybody. Nice to see you all around, and hope you're doing well as well, Bubbles the Monkey. And for long enough now, I don't seem to have seen very many people streaming. Don't think I've seen you stream for a while, Bubbles the Monkey. By which I mean the notifications popping up to say you're streaming, because I haven't actually watched a lot of streams just recently, but. Twisting titanium isn't too bad. Trying to close the gap is really hard work. Am I making a mess of this? Am I doing this anything like right? No, I don't think so. It looks like I'm making a mess of it. Yep, definitely making a mess of something. You know what, let's deal with this as I should, which is to just back off and try again. I may actually even give up on this one tonight. Lol kid lol, blimey. Everybody's around tonight. What is it? Is it sort of everybody's been on holiday for the past 2 weeks and they've all sort of suddenly coming back? Good evening. I shall have to keep an eye out then for your streams, Bubbles to Monkey. Right, let's see if I can actually make some sense out of what I'm doing here. Oh dear. If I was doing this from scratch, it would. In fact, I'm half tempted to start from scratch, just because I think I'd understand it better. Oh dear. I was watching Targ stream earlier tonight. He's a gamer, Minecraft gamer. And he goes, what should I do next? Because otherwise I'm probably going to fall asleep. And then you saw his mouse cursor just gently moving along the screen. And it just kept going, the screen just basically slowly rotating, and you heard this in the background, and he'd fallen asleep on stream. But dipping nose in hot cocoa. Burnt noses. Trying to breathe hot cocoa. Neither very good. You'll have to try some titanium. It's certainly strong enough. Mind you, I've played about with the smaller sizes, and you really don't have a problem with aluminium. I mean, when you something like round mail, for example, here, there's just so many rings interlinked that it takes some force to pull them apart. They're 20 gauge as well, I think, and even this sort of 4-in-1. I can't imagine the amount of force needed to actually break it or pull it apart. So you probably don't have a problem. But titanium are really hard to work with. Well, titanium's just a really strong metal, of course. So you know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to continue tonight with the titanium. In fact, I'm not going to continue at all because it's about that time. But what I'm going to do tomorrow, I think, is I am going to start a new 3-in-1, because that's what this is. A new 3-in-1 from scratch, when I'll actually understand what it is I'm doing. Because I'm looking at this and I just cannot pick up. It should be fairly simple to pick up where I left off, and yet I cannot work out how to do it. It's odd. I'm fairly sure that blue ring should go through there. And I've picked up the wrong pliers again. And that should go and sit over the top. Over the top. There. Right. And then my purple ring should go through that and that and pick up a blue ring, I think. And that should go over the top of there. Okay. Maybe I won't be starting a new one tomorrow. Maybe I've just worked out. Where I'm going with this. Through. Yeah, where I'm going with this is probably throwing it somewhere if I'm not careful. Through there. Through there. This particular piece of music reminds me of Men in Black for some reason. Why this music? This music because it's royalty-free music by attribution. So if you're looking at the bottom beneath the stream window, it'll tell you this is by Purple Planet Music, which I am at liberty to play, provided I attribute the music to them, and therefore is not subject to copyright. Well, it is subject to copyright, but it's not going to be subject to copyright claims, which will mute the stream. So when you look at the recordings, you can have sound. And it's okay music for something like this. It's fairly innocuous, shall we say, for a sort of a calm sort of either a carving, or an art stream generally. One of the things I sometimes end up doing if I get sort of some of the music which I would play when I'm not streaming, I start moving to the beat of the music, for example, like with a paintbrush, and shall we say sometimes then you get lines and brush strokes that weren't quite what you intended and stuff like that. So when I'm really trying to concentrate on something, I will tend to pick something sort of fairly innocuous. It's not quite elevator music, isn't this? It's a bit too lively for elevator music, but okay, I've just put that through there, and I want a closed blue ring to close it. Okay, these particular rings have been cut not really. They've been cut at an angle rather than straight down. They've been cut at an angle, and that actually makes it a little bit more awkward trying to close the things, surprisingly. You have to really grab hold of these things quite hard as well, so ergonomic pliers are a real bonus when doing this. Yes, I've managed to close it, right, but it's I must get a pair of ergonomic pliers for these flat nose, because when I'm doing titanium I really have to put, as you can see it's affecting my hands already, or you might be able to just see it's red there, because I have to really squeeze with these. And I can easily see a bracelet done with titanium taking 2 or 3 times longer to do, AD. Mind you, equally I can see it being a little bit easier quality control wise from looking back at it afterwards, and things are not going to move. Unlike aluminium, where you have to go back over it and tweak some of the some of the joins sometimes because they've drifted apart from the memory effect. I don't think these are going to have any memory effect at all. Okay, I'm just going to do one more ring and then I think that will be it for tonight's stream. That's blue. Little kid, good evening. Okay, have a good night. Thank you for dropping in. Most kind of you. Look forward to seeing you again in the future. I have just spent 5 minutes trying to, and that ring just shot across the desk and disappeared. I'm glad it's the last one. I don't know if you can actually sort of see with a slight shaking on the pliers, but I am actually putting quite a bit of force into doing that. 3-in-1's not my favourite weave to do. It's a bit fiddly, trying to make sure the rings keep going back in the right place. But it sort of does look quite nice, but anyway. That's it for tonight. We've extended it by about 4 rings. Yep, I'm doing it right. But we'll. I am now determined to finish this to a full bracelet, so we shall carry on with that. Indeed, they are jump rings. That one jumped quite a long way, sort of high speed, about a foot over the edge of the desk and down somewhere where I'm not even going to bother going looking for it. But I think it'll turn out to be quite a nice bracelet, actually. I kind of want to play with some niobium rings as well, but just to see what the difference is from titanium. But these are really strong, that I can tell you. I'm not sure I'd go trying to tow any vehicles with one, but that end ring always looks odd until you get the next one in line. Yeah, I kind of feel like you probably could tow something with it, but it really is that strong. But thank you very much, Carty Dancer. I've got one ring which is slightly further apart than the others, just there, and I'm looking at it wondering, have I actually got a ring out of place? Because that's usually how you tell, or one of the ways in which you can tell. If you look at the pattern that you get, like down the edge there, you get that like herringbone pattern, and on this side you've got the herringbone pattern as well, but there is one just about there which is just, you know, it looks like it's slightly out of place. It doesn't quite sit in the pattern properly. It probably means I've got a ring out of place. Can't actually see it there. But I will study that later. Anyway, I'll correct it if it's wrong. I'm going to put that down on the desk. I'm going to say thank you to it's down on the desk there. I'm going to say thank you to everybody that's been watching. I've had some fun tonight. Thank you very much, all of you, for dropping in. I will point out my website, everytime, which it's starting to give you a little bit of an overview of some of the pieces that I have been doing on stream. Not just the jewellery, there's pyrography on there, scraper board, punchcraft. So I think there's at least one of each of the pieces on there. So it gives you a bit more of a description about the piece itself, like the trains. There you go, Fluffy Twiglet. There's a train on there, and the pyrography and things like that. But also Facebook. There's a Facebook page there, Dargan Art on Facebook as well. So I tend to put pictures up there as I just create things. Etsy, of course, the shop, zaraganart.etsy.com. Take a look. This will be going on there. This that I made earlier, it will be going on there maybe tomorrow, I think, with a bit of luck. Keep an eye out if you're interested in a silver tone. Not sterling silver, this is aluminium. Well, the chain is anyway. Will be going on there. And maybe the titanium one when I finished it. And Twitter, of course, if you'd like to keep up to date when I go live, when I don't go live, and things like that. Not a prolific tweeter, but I do sort of say when I'm going live, etc. So follow me on there. You can keep up to date with the channel. And of course, Twitch. If you're not following, I do encourage you to do so. That way you will get to be notified by Twitch, if it does it and if you let it, when I go live, which hopefully will be tomorrow night. And I think I probably will do a little bit more of this, because I don't think I'll be in the mood to do carving tomorrow. Might be back to carving later on in the week. Well, we're doing an eagle owl. Eagle owls, great big birds if you didn't know. Stand about 3 feet tall, 6 foot wingspan, and I'm carving a female one. So it's got great big talons. And there's no joke intended there. It just has great big talons. And so I will be live hopefully tomorrow night from around 8 PM UK time, 2000 hours UTC or GMT, both the same. And Major Bulls, good night everybody, and Kennedy Dancer, Creams, Bubbles the Monkey, Eddie Fall Guy, Nakamui, and whoever else is around. My memory's not that good. Thank you all for watching, it has been fun. And I'll say goodbye from the White Rose of Yorkshire. Hope I'll see you again in the studio tomorrow. Bye for now.